There about 2 months, and when I was there, I was in a coma, and when I woke up, I found that I couldn't hear.
Have deaf facilities that have sign language interpreters?
I can't remember which hospital have sign language interpreter. So you have to come up, you have to come with your interpreter, or you go talk to the doctors.
Good afternoon. Thank you for creating time for us. Hope you are having a good day. It is a bright Sunday here in the capital. A very warm welcome to the Lunchtime News. My name is Irene Muchuma Odim. On sign language interpretation, we have Byron Abuli. Now, a 5-story building under construction has collapsed in Kino, Reagan, Kiambu County, according to the National Construction Authority. The collapse affected an adjacent building whose residents were promptly evacuated to safety. National Construction Authority Executive Director Maurice Akech says the area has been cordoned off and investigations launched to ascertain the cause of the collapse. Akech says efforts are underway to ensure the safety of adjacent buildings and the surrounding development is not affected.
Nisikia mgurumo, nikashindwa ni nini na guruma, nikajaribu kufungua gate kutoka nje, nikaona vumbi. So kuangalia nikaona kama vumbi ikawa ni kubwa, vumbi mingi sana. Sasa sikuelewa ni nini mpaka wakati nimekuja karibu ndio nikagundua ni nyumba ilikuwa inaporomoka.
Kwa sasa tunangoja serikali kama inaweza kuingia kidogo, ikuje iondoe hii nyumba ndio turudi makwetu tuweze kuendelea.
Kama haingekuwa nyumba nyingine, hii nyumba yote ingekuwa chini. Kulikuwa na mafundi wanapiga plasta ndani. Walifanya kazi yao vizuri na hakukuwa na tatizo lolote. Sasa walilipwa vizuri afu wakaondoka. Sasa ndio tumesikia hiyo saa 6 saa 5:30 nyumba hiyo ndio kaanguka.
One Kenya Alliance principals Kalonzo Musyoka and Senator Gideon Moi met and held lengthy discussions with Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni, and that was in State House, Nakasero, Kampala. The discussions centered on the current situation in South Sudan, and particularly the planned retreat between President Salva Kiir and his first Vice President, Dr. Riek Machar. Discussed in the meeting were also bilateral issues between Kenya and Uganda. Earlier, the Wiper leader held discussions with former Ugandan Special Envoy to South Sudan, Ambassador Betty Bigombe, and British High Commissioner to Uganda, Kate Irene, at a Kampala hotel. The talks generally focused on the status of the security regime of the revitalized agreement on the resolutions of the conflict in South Sudan, and in particular, the unification of the two armies. Deputy President William Ruto has arrived in London, UK from Washington, D.C. The Deputy President was received by Kenyan Ambassador to London, Manoa Esipisu, and is expected to have several high-profile meetings in the area for the next 3 days. Narok North Member of Parliament Moitalel Olekenta's bid to be governor of the resource-rich Narok County received a major boost after top civil servants and leaders endorsed his candidature. Youth Affairs Principal Secretary Charles Sonkuli, Commission on Revenue Allocation CRA Commissioner Kishanto Olesuji, former Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Peter Nkuraia, and Kilgoris Member of Parliament Gideon Conchela endorsed Olekenta, who is seeking the seat on an ODM ticket.
Narok North MP Moitalel Olekenta's race for Narok gubernatorial seat continues to gain momentum following approval by top civil servants from the region. Speaking in Naikara, Narok West Sub-County, Youth Affairs Principal Secretary Charles Sonkuli said they sacrificed their ambitions for the county top seat to ensure Kenta sails through in the August polls.
Nilikuwa nawania kiti ya governor, lakini kwa sababu ya consensus mimi nimemwachia mheshimiwa Olekenta. Na nataka kusema nitaongoza kampeni ya kuunga yeye mkono.
Kilgoris MP Gideon Conchela said Kenta enjoys support across the whole county. The two-term MP for Narok North will contest for the...
Kwa siasa. Na wakifanya hivyo, inabaki na vacuum kabla serikali ichukue mtu mwingine ariplesiwe pale, sisi kampuni tunaumia sana. Serikali imejaribu. Saa yote serikali inakuwa inajaribu, na haswa hii serikali ya mtukufu Rais Uhuru Kenyatta imejaribu sana, kwa sababu hakuna wakati ambao Eden Park imetoa title mingi kama wakati huu wa Rais Uhuru Kenyatta. Ametoa title nyingi, vile alikuwa amepromise kutoa title milioni 10 zimetoka, kwa sababu kama sisi kwa hii miaka yake 10 ambayo ameongoza tumeweza kupeana zaidi ya title 9,000.
Members of county assemblies have been commended for linking the grassroots to the national development agenda. Speaking during the County Gala Awards in Mombasa, CEO Khalif Njiraini said MCAs have been at the fore in championing the devolution of resources to the counties.
It was pomp and colour at the 4th County Gala Awards. Politicians and civil servants from all cadres, from the grassroots to the national level, were fitted. During the Gala Awards ceremony held at a Mombasa hotel, the County Gala Awards CEO Khalif Njiraine gave a special recognition to MCAs across the country, saying they bear the biggest pressure of leadership because they are the closest to the grassroots.
We found that MCAs bear the biggest pressure of leadership because hao ndio wako wanaishi na nini. If you are an MCA, jipigie makofi tafadhali.
Njiraine reiterated that the awards are meant to encourage performance, development, leadership and integrity. Voted the best cabinet secretary in the country, Sports Cabinet Secretary Amina Mohammed said leadership is about relationships and how one relates to the subjects that makes them unique.
These awards, in essence, do not only recognize the peculiarity of talents and skills, but also the hard work, commitment, and resilience that goes into making a good servant leader.
Keyo North Member of Parliament James Murgo, who was voted the best MP in Elgeyo Marakwet County, said zero tolerance to corruption was the key to his leadership success in the constituency and dedicated the award to his office personnel who have supported his development agenda.
The thing is, in Keyo North, one is zero tolerance to corruption. All right, so that whatever we get, which is meant for the people of Keyo North, actually they receive that.
The MCAs who won noted that dedication to serve their people was the driving force to achieving their development goals.
Hii award kwanza naidediketia watu wangu wa Githurai kwa umoja ile ambao tumekuwa nao katika makazi zetu, katika challenges zetu zile tumekuwa nazo, so nawarudishia shukrani for that support. Sisi ni watumwa wa watu na jukumu letu ni kutumikia umma. Hatuna budi ili kuwatumikia watu wetu kwa wajibu wa sheria iliyowekwa, kwa sababu sheria ndio inatulinda sisi, na niseme kila mmoja awajibike, ili leo ni mimi, kesho ni mwingine.
For Lunchtime News Weekend from Mombasa County, I am Ann Mburu.
Now, the Orange Democratic Party leader Raila Odinga's campaign secretariat is seeking to have political parties under the Azimio la Umoja movement umbrella form joint committees that will steer well-coordinated campaigns ahead of the August 9th general election. Laikipia Governor Ndiritu Mreithi says the organized joint public rallies will outline the Azimio la Umoja agenda.
During a consultative meeting held in Nyahururu town that brought together members of the business community, elected leaders and aspirants, Laikipia Governor Ndiritu Mreithi, who also chairs Raila Odinga's campaign secretariat board, recommended well-planned campaigns in the race for State House.
Hizi vyama zetu, KANU, Jubilee, PNU, na ODM, na muko hapa nyote. Situtengeneze kamati. Kani atendo itu. Yeah, I think pengine kila chama itupatie watu mbili wawe kamati, na hiyo kamati ianze kazi saa ngapi? Saa hii.
Ndiritu, joined by other political leaders, reiterated that the Azimio la Umoja movement is committed to the realization of meaningful development.
Nataka kuambia mheshimiwa governor, usipotelee sana huko coast na coast. Hata kama unaenda, tuache mimi na kina Dhomi na kina Mumo na pesa zimepangwa hapo.
Nyinyi ambao mko hapa under Azimio, tunaamini kwa roho zetu kwamba sisi ndio tumeshika ile barabara ambayo inafaa.
Meanwhile, National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi has maintained that the Democratic Party is not considering any alliances.
For the time being, I am concentrating on, first of all, reviving the party and ensuring that its grassroots is vibrant. Even if I was approached, for the time being, my answer is let me ensure that the party is vibrant on the ground.
And businessman Peter Wachira Njuguna is the latest entrant in the Nairobi gubernatorial race on a Jubilee ticket. Njuguna says he has been motivated to join the race for the job with a mission to improve service delivery to the city residents.
Nairobians have now a chance, to elect quality leadership in Wachira Njuguna. I'm currently the chairman of Nairobi NCBDA, Nairobi County Business District Association. I'm in touch with what happens.
Elsewhere, the Anglican bishops have dismissed claims by a section of political leaders questioning fairness and transparency of the upcoming elections.
Wakifanya kwa amani, then wananchi watakuwa na amani. Wakifanya kwa pupa na tamaa yao, then the whole process na taifa lote itapata barabara mkondo ule moja. Asiingia katika mawazo ya wale wanaosema kwamba itakuwa haki na uhuru.
I would like that we look at the leaders, we appreciate them, we criticize them when it is right.
The clergy said politicians should instead focus on selling their manifesto during the campaigns. Kamchemenza for Lunchtime News.
Well done, Kamche. This is KBC. You're watching the Lunchtime News. Thank you for your company on social media platforms. Edelmd, you're saying you're watching KBC Channel 1. Gaiti Purity, you're saying you love KBC Channel 1 and we love you back. We are taking a short commercial break. We'll be back with more. Stay with us.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723 892 654 or 0734 780 124.
This gives us time to reflect about the challenges that women are facing. What are the opportunities? What are the solutions? And even the progress made so far.
Life just became something else. I saw from a child's eye what ostracization means, widow's ostracization means, where you no longer belong to your family because your parents married you off.
Yes.
And yet now you have no husband, so you no longer belong into your matrimonial community. Every good, every bad, every evil has something to do with who I am. Even the atrociousness of hiding under a bed in a dark, small madhouse with my grandma is the reason I'm out there building homes for ostracized widows.
Yeah.
To know the reason why she changed her mind. I think I'm losing my mind, Santiago.
The only thing I can tell you is that I'm very hurt with how things went. I am practically family.
Thank you for staying with us. This is KBC and you're watching the Lunchtime News. Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims, SUPKEM, has called on political leaders to shun negative political rhetoric that can divide the nation and lead to violence. Speaking in Nairobi, SUPKEM National Chairman Hassan Olenado said the current political situation, if not checked, can interfere with the country's peace, stability and progress. The leaders called on religious leaders across all faiths to use their institutions to guide their faithful as peace ambassadors. They urged Kenyans to vote for politicians not because of their religious or ethnic backgrounds, but based on their performance and integrity. Next. Youth Kisii.
Ideally ni kuga kiria uria kiharo gikitwo
KBC County have condemned divisive and disrespectful remarks from political leaders ahead of the August 9th general election. The young leaders said recent political rallies held in Nyamira and KBC counties were full of divisive remarks by politicians which did not rest well with the youth in attendance. The youth, led by Brandon Mugambi, said leaders should focus on ensuring peaceful coexistence in every part of the country. The Abagusi Culture and Development Council has also condemned insightful remarks being made in rallies.
We will not allow the culture of Gunism to exist in our county. Politics will come and go, but peace must prevail.
Hiyo ni mtindo mbaya na sio tabia ya Wakisii. Hiyo sio yetu. Na ikiwa inataka kuletwa, itakuja kuleta mambo mbaya. Kwa hivyo sisi kama kikundi cha Abagusi Elders Council tumekataa hayo mambo ni mabaya na tumekataa yasiendelee, na tunawauliza wale walikuwa wanapigwa kelele ni watu wetu wa heshima sana, watu wakubwa, watu tunaheshimu.
Time for Channel 1 Sports News. Olympic marathon champion Eliud Kipchoge and Olympic silver medalist Brigid Kosgei won the Tokyo Marathons early today morning. Kipchoge won the race on his debut, clocking a new course record of 2 hours, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, while Brigid Kosgei completed the Kenyan double in 2 hours, 16 minutes and 2 seconds.
Collecting major marathon wins in Chicago, 4 times in London, 3 times in Berlin and twice at the Olympics over the past decade, Eliud Kipchoge won his first Tokyo Marathon title, clocking 2 hours, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, the 4th fastest marathon in history, after dropping fellow Kenyan Amos Kipruto, the 2019 World Championship bronze medalist, who finished second. Tamira Tola of Ethiopia settled for that position. Brigid Kosgei completed the Kenyan double in Tokyo by winning the women's race in a time of 2 hours, 16 minutes and 2 seconds. Ethiopia's Ashete Bekele finished second, while Gotitom Gebrselassie settled for that position.
Across the borders, Liverpool registered a 1-0 victory against West Ham to move 3 points behind English Premier League leaders Manchester City, while KBC County have condemned divisive and disrespectful remarks from political leaders ahead of the August 9th general election. The young leaders said recent political rallies held in Nyamira and KBC counties were full of divisive remarks by politicians which did not rest well with the youth in attendance. The youth, led by Brandon Mugambi, said leaders should focus on ensuring peaceful coexistence in every part of the country. The Abagusi Culture and Development Council has also condemned insightful remarks.
1-0 victory again played tonight as Manchester City welcome Manchester United at Etihad Stadium. Champions Manchester City will be without defender Ruben Dias, who will be out for 6 weeks after picking up an injury.
Well, still on sporting notes, my colleague Daniel Wahome is at the Muthaiga attending a golf event. Let's cross over and link up with Wahome and let us know what he has for us. Wahome, good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Irene Muchuma, back at Broadcasting House. We're live at the Muthaiga Golf Club. It's the final day. It's the 4th round of the Magical Kenya Open 2022. It's the 53rd edition of this event, and it is the 3rd time it is being played as a DP World Tour event, what was known as a European Tour. And, you know, everyone from this country has been saying there's something different about Muthaiga, the work that has been done, and we've got the person who worked tirelessly to ensure that we got the standards that were required by the DP World Tour. Daniel Kiboi, he is an agronomist, and he was commissioned by DP World Tour to make sure that this is it. Daniel, it's a pleasure for us to speak to us. You could just briefly tell us, the work that went in getting the Muthaiga golf course to the standards that we've seen over the last 4 days.
Thank you. The preparation starts 6 months earlier, so we started in the month of September, and basically what happens is that the tour agronomist gives us a report, and then that report then is handed down to us, and we make sure that everything that he says on that report is done. And that includes a lot of conditioning on the greens, feeding them very well, because this 1 week it's a lot of pressure on the greens. I'm sure you can see some of them turning grayish, turning brownish. If we didn't intervene since September, they would be worse. So there's a lot of feeding, there's a lot of limited irrigation, and also making sure that they don't get any diseases. So it starts 6 months earlier, and every week I'm supposed to be on site since September to make sure that whatever needs to be done is done.
And what about the fairways? As the golfers tee off, one thing we noticed is you could see some difference of elevation. What was required by the World Tour so that they could have this event here?
On the fairways, the main thing is to get the proper height of cut and also cutting in the right direction. They have been cut at 12 millimeters, and then in the last week we cease all irrigation so that there's always that extra bounce and that extra ball roll. You can get even up to 25-30 yards from a single shot.
And looking at what's gone down here and the lessons learned, what are the lessons that you give to people who want to have courses in these conditions, such that even for the pros, they're used to playing in the tough championship conditions that they've been they were speaking about on Thursday and Friday?
This one I'll speak especially to the golf courses. Now we have 2 venues that can hold DP World Tour events. That's Muthaiga and Karen. But the other courses, there's a huge investment in terms of human resource. The team that's on the ground, that's the superintendent, the assistant, and the team, that the machine operators. 2, the level of equipment. They're not cheap equipment, but they need a lot of planning and budgeting to try and get that equipment available. And 3, the club itself has to own the event, as in once anything is asked for by the tour or input from the agronomist, you don't have a choice. It's you want to host this kind of event so that you can get this kind of course.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr.